Oh, and a bada bing and a bada boom, live back in action, attacking your speakers from the field to the bleachers. This is the Power 32 podcast. We're powered by StreamYard over here. My name is Jason Fearman, aka the Sports Prophet, aka the Smart Guy, along with my smart ass co-host, Mr. Kenny Culp. What's going on, my brother?
I am just hanging out, waiting for the week to start. I've been waiting since Monday night for some football.
Yes, I know. It's a very long 3-day gap. It's like, come on, you know what? Just have football on every day and please us all, and that'll be it. But it is back. We got Thursday night football to talk about. Giants and Cowboys, both 1 and 2 teams. One surprising, one not so much. We'll get into that. We'll get into all the games we're going to talk about. And we're going to try to do it in a timely fashion so Kenny and I can also enjoy the game tonight because we want to see it in full. We're football guys. We want to see what's going on. Definitely want to hear your comments out there as we go along. As we pick games, pick it with us. We're going to do above or below as we do the games like we did last week. We're going to pick a player. For example, Josh Allen, who threw for, however many yards he did. But 250 yards, we go above, we go below. We'll have a little fun with it. So we'll get ready to rock and roll. But Kenny, I wanted to start with, now we're into week 4. Getting a little bit more of a clearer picture of the good teams and the bad teams, but not yet. We're not quite there yet. But I decided to do a top 5 power ranking anyway, and it came to this. Chiefs number 1, Bills number 2. I put the Packers at 3 for what they did with Malik Willis and all that coaching and just the defense showing up. So, I got to give it to them. The Vikings, I got to give it to them at number 4. So I'm putting them in there. And then at number 5, I couldn't figure this one out. Who's better, Steelers, Seahawks, or Lions right now?
I mean, if you go by last year, I'm going to go Lions.
Yeah.
If you go by this year, man, it could be the Seahawks.
It might be. And that was my sneaky team, you remember, to make the playoffs.
Yeah. And I told you, when you told me that, I told you last year, I thought the Seahawks were better than the Lions. It's just what I thought.
Yeah.
I really thought they were a good team.
They match up all right, and they play on Monday Night Football, which is great. So we get to see them battle head-to-head and, maybe a little preview of playoff game action. But, yeah, I think it's really still too early to rank the teams. We really don't know yet until after week 4, week 5 maybe. And, that all goes back to what we were talking about because there's really no preseason, and they treat the first few weeks as preseason. Anyway, there you go.
And that's why everyone's hurt. We went through that.
You're damn right. That is why.
And it is worse than ever. Worse than ever.
Yeah. Oh, no, it is. I mean, especially our team. I mean, I hear that Debo is coming back a little bit, and George Kittle is coming back a little bit. Maybe they'll play. I hope so. But, yeah, David McKnight over here. Yeah, it's way too early to go ahead. And Kenny, of course, you agree. It's too early to figure out who's the best teams in the NFL. But I think they're all chasing the Chiefs no matter how you look at it.
We don't need to use, Debo on every single down. We don't need to use, if you can bring Debo in, if he can get 5 plays in for the game, I would take those 5 plays.
Well, he could be the ultimate decoy also. As long as he's on the field, people are going to be attracted to him and find out what's going on. So, as long as he's on the field, they feel good about it.
Yeah, I agree.
So David McNard is saying that Seattle Sea Chickens have only beaten 3 bad teams so far, but I don't know. They look pretty good doing it, though. I hear you. Overtime with Denver.
We've played some bad teams too, and we lost 2 of them. No,
Kenny, it's not looking good right now. 1-2 record. I'm not as worried about the record as I am the future of the team this year. It's not looking good, and then we're gonna have to pay Brock Purdy, and more people are gonna leave. I don't know. Maybe not the best to be 9.
I think losing these people, keeping Brock Purdy, keeping BA, we're starting a new core. Does that make sense? I think we're starting a new core. Yeah. We got to move on. We got to make some changes. It's been too long. We've been complacent for like 7 years, I think.
And you know what? We got there, but we haven't taken home the trophy. So that's a big deal. That's
ultimate goal.
Ultimate goal. Well, our ultimate goal is to get every game right because even if we bet on them, we want to make some money, which I do, of course. I had a pretty good week last week as far as betting goes, but winning games, I won 8, you won 7. We got to do better than this, man. We got to do better.
Agreed.
Both of us. And so we're going to get into them pick'ems, man, and talk about the games right now without any further ado. We want to start with Thursday Night Football, though, and that's the way we're going to do it. So let's get our pick'ems in there right now. Cue up the music, please. All right, the Power 32 pick'ems in the house, baby. So Thursday Night Football, starting out with that, we got the Giants hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the way I look at it real quick, and then you fill in the gaps over here, Dallas can't stop the run, and the Giants have a pretty good run game with Devin Singletary. Nobody really talks about it because nobody really talks about him. But if they run the ball and Daniel Jones runs the ball, and they can play that deep look, Cowboys have no running game whatsoever. They're totally
zero.
The most one-dimensional team I've seen in a real long time. I mean, they really cannot run the ball. They got to figure out a running back situation. They should have went ahead and signed Kareem Hunt instead of Kansas City, but whatever, I digress. This is another thing. But if it's not Dak and CD Lamb, it's like they're not going to win.
And that kind of was like that last year too, if we want to really.
Yeah, but they had the number one offense last year, and their defense was playing lights out for the most part. This year, they are just not. But they played pretty well against the Giants. I don't know what's going to happen in this game. I think that those variables come into play big time.
I like the Giants in this one. I just like the way they've been playing. I like the way they've been meshing. I feel like they've moved on. I heard this somewhere. I'm not some smart guy. That's you. But I did hear Drew Phillips right now is probably in the running for offensive rookie of the year. And then you have Malik Neighbors, who's in the conversation, probably leading right now for offensive rookie of the year. So here are the Giants, right? They made some great picks. That was the third rounder. Drew Phillips was a third rounder out of Kentucky. Wasn't a special pick. Right now, he's probably the best defensive player of all the rookies. Neighbors is the best offensive player of all the rookies, arguably. I like what they're doing. And Devin Singletary's no slouch. We know that. He's been around for a long time. He's always been a good runner. They can run the ball. I just feel like they're clicking. This happens. I feel like it's a little – I'm not comparing Daniel Dimes to Sam Darnold, but they're having a little – Baker too. They're having a little awakenings. Like they're a little awakening party.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, he's not going to, go you with the numbers or anything like that, but
he's not going to pull a Dalton.
Yeah, he's a gamer. Yeah, Andy Dalton, unbelievable, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. So
crazy.
Who's the problem over there? Oh my God,
that's too bad. It's too bad. I feel bad for Bryce, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Is right. We'll talk about that. But yeah, getting into tonight's game, I mean, I feel like Dallas is the kind of team that can come out and say, you know what, we need this game so bad, we're going to win it. We're going to do whatever we have to do to win it. Right now, they're favored 5.5. I know, again, we're not a gambling show, but we're just talking about it. They're favored 5.5.
No, it's good to know. These things absolutely matter today, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every sports talk show radio I hear, gambling is a huge thing.
It runs usually – look, I was on the radio as a DJ. I was on the radio, FM radio. Every 15 minutes, guess what I had to do? Weather and time and all that stupid shit. And now if you watch any of your big creators that you used to watch in the past – 10, 15 minutes in, they're making picks. They're making over-under guesses. They're talking about bet whatever and whatever all the things. I don't want to say anything. We're not sponsored by them, but you know what we're talking about. And it controls the flow of their show now. And it's a real different thing. And it's only been like a year or two that this has been sneaking in there and really taking over the script of your own show.
Totally.
What I hear is that these guys are getting like $25K to do it.
Wow. And ESPN, even they have their own betting line. I mean, that's crazy. They have their own sports book. Crazy. Unbelievable how this stuff works.
I think NBC has their own NFL NBC bet, like a whole other channel just for, it's getting like that, yeah.
Well, so you're saying you like the Giants in this game, huh?
I do. I like the Giants. I like Neighbors. I was behind Daniel Jones this year. He's not really making me look smart, but so bad.
Well, again, I feel like I say, that guy, I can't stress enough how much I feel like that guy is a gamer. He's not like the quarterback that you want to run your team to come back and make, not going to put up big numbers, but he's a guy that's going to give you his all.
Got experience. He's a big ugly.
Right? So anyway, in this game, let's do our above or below. Dak Prescott, knowing they got to throw the football to win the game, 261 yards above or below.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It is.
But you know why I think it's going to make it? Because they can't run the ball, and they just got Ferguson back, who last week had almost 100 yards receiving. He was their top. I mean, right now it's going to be CD and Ferguson. Those are their top two targets.
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle is going to do what he can. Ezekiel is doing nothing right now.
Brandon Cooks is nowhere to be found at times.
Only in the first game. I think he had a good first game, right? And then people were like, let's add him.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to take Dallas in this one because I feel like they're a team that is better overall, but they're not playing that way. I think that this is a wake-up game for them. I would feel better picking them if they were home, but you know what? They lost the last 2 home games, so what the hell does that tell you? Forget about that. So you can throw it out the window. All right. Well,
yeah, I like the pick, though. You're right. They're a better team, and I feel like that's the easy pick. But the way the Giants been playing, I just like them. And I have neighbors. That's what happens when you carry someone in your fantasy team. All of a sudden, you're a fan of the team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you get so invested in them. Their backups. Everything.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
As much as we love the NFL, and before fantasy came out, it's that much more interesting. And then you add the gambling on top of it. It's like, holy shit! You don't even know what to do.
So much shit to think about. It's nice.
There is. It's people are going to be dying way too early, man. I swear to God, we're going to be dropping dead by 63. It's good.
We'd have to do a completely different show if we were talking fantasy. But I just want to say I took a Caleb and I took Jaden, and I took my chances, and so far so good.
Yeah, okay, well, Jaden paid off for sure. Did you play him Monday night?
Hell yeah, I played him every week. I've started him every week, not Caleb, because Caleb. There's no rushing upside. Actually, I think I started him the first week and he killed me. And since then, I started Jaden the last 2 times. That's what it was.
Yeah, but Jaden, he did it with his arm. 21 of 23 for
almost
300. I mean,
that was record for a rookie too, I believe.
Dimes he was throwing to freaking McLaurin. Dimes.
And he should be. He should be. See, here's the thing. We did our predictions at the beginning of the year, and I copped out and I took Caleb, but who I loved all year, who I had said all year was Jaden, but I went with Caleb because I chickened out at the end.
Yeah, well, I mean, their frame also, Caleb looks like a bigger guy at quarterback, and Jaden Daniels, he ain't that much bigger than me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he does it, more power.
Which is helpful. It's been helpful for Vic. It's been helpful for Kyler.
So. Yeah. Yep, that's true. as long as they can absorb those hits, which they take, which is kind of hard to do, but we do them anyway.
Yeah.
NFC North battle, if you want to call it that. New Orleans at Atlanta Falcons. I don't know. What do you see going on in this one?
Oh, I saw the Falcons with a little life last week or whatever, but now I got to stick with the Saints. They're just playing too well. Nobody likes Carr, Kamara.
Yeah.
Kamara. I just saw a Kamara stat where his missed tackle rate, where he makes you miss. When his first year, it was really good, and then every single year it has declined. I don't have the numbers. I have the graphic, but I don't have the ability to bring that up. But it's a graphic that says his missed, when he's running, and he used to make people miss all the time, and now he doesn't. And it's staying there. So I'm assuming eventually he's gonna come back to earth, like we're talking about these teams in the beginning doing well, probably even out later on the season.
He is older now, but I don't know exactly how old he is. He could be 29 or whatever, but he's got some mileage on his legs.
For the NFL.
He's got Sean Payton used him a lot and very often, passing game, running game.
Yeah.
So you know what? It can catch up to you, but still, the kid can play, no doubt. I don't know. I think I disagree. I think I'm going to take Atlanta at home. I think maybe they're trying to start to find their stride a little bit. I'm not happy, but I've seen out of the offense at all. They got to do better. Bijan Robinson, it can't be a one-man show. He can't do everything all by himself. I don't know what's going on with the passing game yet, but I kind of like the defense going against the Saints in the situation. And you know what? Divisional battles are always crazy anyway. So, I'm going to take Atlanta. So we are disagreeing off the bat, which is kind of unusual.
That is good. I'm carrying 3 defenses right now because it's just crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy right now. I can't decide. I got Seattle, I got the Chargers, and I got the Saints.
Okay, I have Seattle in one of my leagues also, and they beat up on Miami last week, which worked out great for me. And then I'm thinking, they're playing the Lions on Monday Night Football. Do I really want to play Seattle? Do I really want to get rid of that defense and bring in just one defense for a week? You know what? I think sometimes you got to take your chances with that. It's not always, they're playing the Lions. They're playing the Niners.
That doesn't always work out like that.
Things happen. Sacks happen. Interceptions happen. Turnovers happen. They just do. So I
Look
think
at the
that
Carolina game we just saw. Imagine you started against Carolina's team last week, you would have got crushed.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. You see, that's a perfect example.
Not that easy.
You never know. You never know. You just don't.
That's right. So leaving them in there versus Detroit could work out.
Right.
I'm going to have to roll with the Saints this week. So I'm going to have to put the Saints up against the Falcons. I know it's dangerous, but I'm with you. I can't put Seattle up against the Lions right now. I can't do it.
Yeah. That should be a very interesting Monday night game, man. I'm looking forward to that a lot. I am. Another double Monday night football game. I mean, I like it, more football, better for me, but to go back and forth between the games is kind of hard. Now, last week was easy because Buffalo just smashed Jacksonville. So it was a lot easier to go to the Cincinnati Washington game. But that's kind of weird putting two games on Monday Night Football.
Well, I think this is the last week, or maybe they'll go back to it at the end of the season. But as far as I know, I think this is the last two on a Monday.
I think so also, yeah. It's just kind of weird. I don't know.
I like it. I can always I like it.
Oh no, I like it. The more football, the better for me. So I'm not gonna complain.
I'm with you. I'm ready for football every day, except we have to respect Friday for high school, Saturday for college.
There you go. Well, let them have that. Every other day should be football, NFL football, every other day. End of story. Oh man. All right. Third game on our list over here is the Rams at the Bears, which is ugly because the Rams are all banged up. The Bears are not what they thought they were. A little Denny Green right there. Let him off the hook. Anyway, this one's a tough game to pick also because I don't know. The Rams had no business beating San Francisco last week, so I don't know what the freak that was all about. What happened there, God only knows. I can't explain that one for the life of me.
We don't have the time to get into that.
No, it's too much. Right? It's too much heartache as it is. Yeah. And the Bears are really not playing well, but for some reason, the NFL is wacky, man. I mean, we've been seeing it all year long. We're still in that wacky stage where teams have not separated themselves. I'm going to take the home team in the Bears and count on their defense to make plays.
Well, we finally agree. I'm also taking the Bears.
Okay, then. All right. Yeah. So
like there you go. I thought the Rams were straight garbage except for Stafford, and we blew it.
Oh, my
Kyron Williams didn't even do anything that well. I mean, he did, but it was over. I mean, there was just no answer. And so we're facing we'll get to that. We'll get to the New England 49ers.
Oh, yeah. It's coming up.
My bad.
It's coming up. I didn't even save it for last, to make a big deal out of it. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I also think Caleb is starting to get his reps and starting to get the game shape and starting to get a little muscle memory working.
He finally threw for a bunch of yardage.
Team was supposed to be so great, and now people are like they put him in a bad position. T.J. Watt or J.J. Watt, I forgot. I don't know if it was the player or the guy who's retired, but one of them were like they're putting him in some shitty situations. I thought he was in a great situation.
Yeah, we thought so too, but that's again rookie quarterback, and some do well, some don't. Bo Nix, jury's still out on him. We don't know what's going to happen. It's hard to tell.
It's really hard because also this guy should probably not be playing at all, as we discussed.
It's the situation. It's where you go. It's who your head coach is, the culture of the football team. It's a lot of that, man. And sometimes it's the guy that comes before you. Patrick Mahomes, again, great example. Not that we're going to talk about this right now, but he sat for an entire year, except for the last game of his rookie season. And I'm not saying that made him Patrick Mahomes, but I'm saying it made him more ready to play week one.
And not only that, but the desire to play because he had to sit.
Oh,
so he's itching. He's chomping at the bit to learn everything he can so that he can get out there immediately. Like he's extra hard working, right? Because he wants to play.
When you think about it, most of the best quarterbacks that ever played, they did sit for a while, including guys like, Tom Brady, even like that. A few came out like John Elway and started right away.
That's a special person, though.
Yeah, totally special. They drafted him to play baseball, for God's sake, John Elway. He was not going to
be an animal. He's just a big dude.
He was one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. He really was. He could do it all. He didn't have that. He was kind of like Ben Roethlisberger, or Ben Roethlisberger, I should say, is like him, but a poor man's, John Elway. John Elway was just unreal. He carried teams literally on his freaking back in the 1980s in order to get to Super Bowls. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yep. What's this from David McNiner we got over here? All the QBs the Bears draft end up not good. It's just what the Bears. Yeah. Maybe it's a cursed situation, really. I mean,
yeah.
you can't even say that Jim McMahon was their last best quarterback. He wasn't that good.
He wasn't even very
quarterback.
And he was always hurt.
Bears.
Yeah, he wasn't great, and he was like always hurt or something too.
Yeah,
it was always something.
Always hurt. He was always hurt. Yeah, but I always thought he had a concussion because he was wearing the bandanas around his head all the freaking time.
That's right. He was covering up like a head wound all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I could play. Let me in, coach. I could do this. Yeah, sure. All right, so we're both on Chicago on that one. Now, this game is good. Didn't think it was going to be as good when the season started and you circled it on your calendar. Minnesota at Green Bay. So I think Jordan Love is coming back. You hear anything about that lately?
He's supposed to play, but
that's
first game back, you never know what's going to happen. But I mean, I still like the Packers because it's in division. I think that the Packers have to win, and I think that the Vikings have to lose. So I'm just going to go, eventually. So I'm going to pick this game. I think the Packers have played the Vikings before. They know each other very well. If Jordan Love is back, Reed is ready to go, and they got Jacobs. And the D has been very nice. They've had a lot of interceptions. Jair Alexander's on their D.
Yeah.
He's been playing really well. I think he has 2 interceptions already. And I can't forget who the Vikings have at quarterback. I don't care how well he's doing. We've seen people like Kelly Holcomb, come in and do great for a few games and then completely go to complete crap. And I'm not saying that's Sam. I'm just saying it's just very hard for me to digest the Sam Darnold's success right now. So I think it's going to come crashing down. It seems like this is a good game for that possibly to happen.
All right, well, I do agree with you with Green Bay winning, but I'm not sure I agree with all that. Darnold has all the tools. It was a matter of somebody putting it together for him. Now, I'm not saying all of a sudden he's a top 10 quarterback, but I'm saying he's definitely improved and he's good for the team. Now, in this game, Brian Flores has been putting together incredible defensive schemes against each team that he's played. Jordan Love is going to have a tough time if he comes back and he sees that right away. I think they're going to have to use Josh Jacobs and work off of play action a lot in order to win this game. I think that's the game plan. And I think LaFleur, their head coach, is a mastermind in that. And right now he's in the running for coach of the year with the things that he's doing. So I like Green Bay, and I like it to be a close game, something around like 23-20. But you know what? I wouldn't bet this game because you just don't know. This is a rival matchup and 2 teams that are playing above and better than what we thought.
Agree. I wouldn't bet on this game because it's just really hard to pick. I'm just assuming eventually things are going to come crashing down in Minnesota, even if it's for a game. And this seems like a good one. This seems like a good trap game for that to happen.
It could be. It could
but
be.
We'll probably both be wrong though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, even if Malik Willis does quarterback, I still like Green Bay in this game because of their defense and because of the creativity. Yeah, we missed a couple of above or below. What's the Sid Luckman is the Bears' best quarterback of all time. Yeah, he was 1939 to 1953 when they had leather helmets. Exactly. That's right.
Yeah, that's really how far back you got to go.
We missed a couple of above or below, so let me get to this game first.
Sure.
The Minnesota
Did you pass over the Bengals-Panthers, by the way?
I don't think I got to them yet. Let me see. Do I have Bengals-Panthers listed over here? Yeah, I got them. Just haven't got to that game yet. I may have a different order than you. But in this game with Minnesota and Green Bay, do you think Justin Jefferson goes over 78 yards above or below?
Justin Jefferson, is he going to be back? Was he okay after what happened in the Niner game?
He's playing.
Yeah, then I think that's an easy one.
Yeah, he probably should. Jalen Johnson would probably play him, play him tough. He's a good cornerback for sure.
Sure, but there's going to be your drags and your plays. Where
not Jalen Johnson. I meant Jair Alexander. I'm sorry, not Jalen Johnson.
Right. Jalen Johnson's Chicago.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I know what you meant, though.
What about Bijan Robinson, 72 yards rushing?
I mean, he better have over 72 yards rushing if the Falcons want a chance. I could see that happening.
Yeah, I think he could do against New Orleans. I mean, they do have a tough defense. I don't know. I may take the
under. They do.
They're going to team. And they're going to sell out against the run because Kirk Cousins ain't scaring anybody in the passing game right now.
Not me yet.
No.
I mean, I know he's good. He's good. But this year, not yet. Not for me. Maybe one game he won, but I don't know about that. I can't.
See, and that's what the Giants are going to have to deal with tonight. Dallas, they're going to stock the box. They're going to make sure that Daniel Jones and Singletary don't beat them with their feet. They're not worried about Daniel Jones throwing to God knows who on that team. Like nobody can name their wide receivers. So I mean,
so they're going to cover Neighbors. They're going to cover Neighbors, but Neighbors
is great.
Doing his thing, and then you have Wan'Dale Robinson. I think.
Yeah, he could play. But yeah, Neighbors has proven to be this year's Rookie of the Year class unbelievable. Like it's going to be impossible picking somebody. But yeah, it's nice. It really is. What about in the Chicago game that we were talking about? This is kind of a weird one. LA going to Chicago. DeAndre Swift has not impressed yet, but I think if there's a game that he's going to do it, maybe it's this one. He's only expected, and this is coming from Hard Rock Bet, for 40 yards rushing.
Wow. Well, yeah, he hasn't been doing great, and he was supposed to be one of the big additions that they brought to Chicago. He hasn't done squat. I don't see it happening in this game.
Yeah, maybe more passing yards or reception yards. That's what they use him for. Well, moving on. I think
that we're gonna with the way that the Rams are semi banged up. I mean, not semi. They're legitimately banged up. I think that the Bears D. I know we're going back. We already did this, but the Bears D combined with the Rams being beat up, I think that Caleb might be actually able to throw it more than one touchdown in this game.
Yeah, he could go for over 300 yards in this game. I could see it happening. This could be a get-right game for them and a confidence builder for him moving forward. Definitely possible.
They could use it.
He needs it
And
himself.
In that division, it's a little shaky right now. So, I know that the Minnesota's taken their lead, but it's room in there to work.
There is, the Lions, they haven't got to where I think they are going to end up being yet. They're not there yet right now. They're still 2-1. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I think they could be better. And we'll get to them in a minute. But we got Pittsburgh and Indianapolis up next. Now, Pittsburgh 3-0, shocking everybody. Justin Fields doing just enough to not screw it up and make a few plays here and there. He played his best game last week. He looked pretty good, throwing, rushing for a touchdown. But they go to Indy where Anthony Richardson cannot get it together. And I've been hearing people like Greg Cosell, who's respected around the NFL universe, saying that he's missing high school passes. Like passes that you throw in freaking high school. That's bad news, man. And, Michael Pittman is being wasted right now. Jonathan Taylor, they're stocking up against him because they're not afraid of Anthony Richardson throwing the ball. So it makes it really tough. And then you're talking about a Steeler defense that's top 3 in the league. Kenny, I don't know how Pittsburgh loses this game. I don't know if I'm going to lock them this week. I hit my lock last week. I don't know. God, because Seattle was easy. I locked them up last week against Miami. That was simple. But I like Pittsburgh on the road over here, man, for all those reasons.
Yeah, I don't think Pittsburgh can lose right now. And the Colts, I don't know how they have a win.
Yeah, but I think they are 1-2. They pulled one out against was it Chicago? I think they beat.
I think they did.
Yeah, Chicago. Well, Jesus Christ.
But the Colts are just not a good team right now. And like you said, AR5, not AR-15 anymore. AR5 looks like he's 5 years old playing Pop Warner again. Oh, and what's funny is that even worse, I just saw this. I'm sure other people noticed it too. But the same mistakes that AR is making, Trevor Lawrence is still making. Did you see the horrible throws that he was making in his game?
He looked real bad, bro.
Not a young man. Not a young man anymore. So AR is shit in the bed. Jonathan Taylor is running that team right now. So if he's going to run for 300 yards and have 4 touchdowns, then I'd pick in Indianapolis. But they're not gonna on this defense, so I got to go with the Steelers.
Yeah, all right.
They only throw for 1 touchdown, but they're probably going to win the game.
Well, we know that he runs the ball really well, Justin Fields, so I'm going to ask you that. His rushing yards in this game, 39 yards above or below.
Way over, I would say.
Yeah?
I would say way over. Yeah, I'm going to say close to 100 yards rushing. He probably throws for less than 200 yards passing, rushes for a TD, throws for a TD, something like that.
Okay, all right. I just picked him up because Jordan Love, I'm not ready to play him yet. Hey, Money, what's up, buddy? I got my dog over here for the people listening.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm thinking about picking up either Dalton or Justin Fields. They're just sitting there, and I have Caleb. I don't know how long I can wait for Caleb.
Yeah, I know. That's you're going to have to sit him on the bench if you think.
I mean, I have Jaden. If he wasn't doing as well as Caleb, I wouldn't know what to do. But with Jaden taking off, it's easy to drop. As Jaden doing well, it's easy to drop Caleb. But I think it's a little early, too, to drop a guy top 100 supposedly was supposed to be.
You know, but I don't even think anybody's going to pick him up even. I mean, when you're ready to take Caleb back, he's probably still going to be there because there's a lot
it's
of
very
quarterbacks
likely
out there.
someone's going to be interested in Caleb Williams.
Yeah, wouldn't even worry about that, to be honest with you. All right, this next one, Denver and the Jets. So little Nathaniel Hackett get back game over here. Jets are heavily favored, 7.5, 8 points in this game. I like them. I think that Bo Nix is going to have a nightmare of a day against that Jets defense. I think they're really going to come through. It's in New York, New Jersey, whatever you want to call it. With the home field advantage, with the way that Rodgers has been playing, they're two-headed running back with Braden Allen and Breece Hall. They got it going on, man. And Garrett Wilson, great player. He's getting double covered a lot, and that's opening up things for like Alan Lazard and Tyler Conklin. I think the Jets are rolling right now, man. I'm going to go with them.
I'm going to have to take the Jets just because they're pretty nasty right now. But I could see the Broncos winning this game. If they lost to us, they can lose to the Broncos. So that's all I'll say. But I'm with you. I'm going with the Jets. I assume the Jets to crush them. And I'm actually going to start Braylon Allen this week. He's only supposed to have like 7 or 8 points. But I know this dude is going to play most of the game because they're going to be up by so much that in the third and fourth quarters, I assume Braylon Allen's going to be getting a lot of touches. And
I like that.
Take that risk.
That's good thinking. I like that. Not bad. That's good thinking.
My other option is like Tank Dell or Zay Flowers, and I'm not in love with either one of those guys. They're not doing like what they're supposed to do on their team right now. Or you know what it is? I have to play those guys. I'm sorry. I have to play Zay and I have to play Tank. What I don't want, Devonta Smith is probably out.
Yeah.
So I'm being forced to put someone else in there, and so what I think is I'm going to play Neighbors and Zay. And then take out Tank, put in Braylon in my flex. Is probably what I'm going to do.
I like that. That's really good thinking about Braylon Allen getting those points later on in the game because if they are up by a lot, 14, 17, 20 points in the fourth quarter,
they're not going to bring the ball very much. I don't think.
They're going to keep giving them the ball, no doubt about it. Well, I think it's going to be a rushing type of game for the Jets, but how about receiving yards? Garrett Wilson at 58 receiving yards, above or below?
Oh, yeah, over.
Okay, going over on that one.
Yeah, especially because, who's going to cover him? Patrick Surtain?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Patrick Surtain. If he's going to shadow him, we're talking about one of the top 3 cornerbacks in the NFL for sure. He got paid like it. We know that much. Yeah,
I assume at least one like 26, 25-yarder gets through there, and then a couple passes here and there. He's already up on 60 yards, something like that. I'm thinking
he's that good, and Rodgers still can sling it, so no doubt about it. All right, we got a rematch of a little playoff action from last year. Philly is at Tampa Bay. We talked about Philly's problems, and Tampa Bay has got their own problems on defense right now. They looked really bad last week. They lost to Denver last week, and Denver really beat them up. It wasn't even close of a game. Now, we can't do it like, Denver beat them, so they must suck. Tampa I still think is a good team, but I don't know if Philly is good enough to go on the road and get this win over here. Saquon Barkley has been their best player by far. There's no doubt about it.
That's it. He's running that team. Devonta, like I said, AJ hasn't played, and I have Devonta, so I know how many targets he's getting a game. It's only about 7, and he hasn't even had a touchdown, I don't think, this year. Maybe he's had 1. But he's not taking AJ's place at this point. He's just kind of filling in there the best he can. It's all Barkley.
They really need AJ Brown badly. He is their number one option, obviously passing the ball. Saquon maybe has become the number one option overall, but man, AJ Brown, what he brings to that team, you could just fling it up to him and he's going to go get it. It's a tough game. I think they make it another Saquon game and get Jalen Hurts involved in the rushing. So I'm going to go ahead and hesitantly take the Eagles on the road.
Yeah, I begrudgingly took the Eagles last week and it worked for me. I'm going to do it this week too, even though I've said I like the Bucs. I didn't expect them to be first place in their division, but I have to take the Eagles on this one, I think.
They won their division last year, man. All right, so I'm with you on Philadelphia. Let's get our above or below for this game. Godwin or Evans, do you think either one of them gets 62 yards?
I think they do very easily.
Both of them?
I think both of them will, yeah.
All right.
I think both of them will be close to 100 yards. And then what's their situation now? They have Rashad White, and what?
Yeah, Bucky? They got Rashad White. They got Bucky Irving.
Who's slowly taking over.
Yeah, he's banged up this week, so it may be all Rachaad White. And I got him on my fantasy team. I'm debating whether I'm starting him or I got Zay Flowers. Actually, kind of interesting right there.
He's the number one guy, and against the Buffalo Bills, you know they're going to have to pass.
Zay Flowers could play, man. There's no doubt about it.
Zay and Neighbors, I'm going with as my two wide receivers.
Play.
Yeah.
All right. Next game, not that interesting. We're talking about some 0-3. Well, actually, Carolina's 1-2 because of the red rifle. But Cincinnati is 0-3 going into Carolina to play this game. A desperation freaking city, man. After losing against Washington, defense giving up 38 points. Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator for the Bengals, is probably sick to death, and he wants to kill every one of the players on his team right now. This is going to be a tough, as hard a week of practice as the Bengals have ever had in their entire lives in order to get one freaking win. I have to take the Bengals on the road against Carolina, even though I think that Andy Dalton and Deontay Johnson are going to connect big time. So, you know what? Give me Cincinnati. But I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it either, but I have to go with Cincinnati. Like last week, I didn't think they'd go 0-3. There's no way they can go 0-4. I got to go with Cincinnati.
How can they go 0-4? They can't. They just can't go 0-4.
Hey, the Ravens just snuck one out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just snuck one out.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Crazy.
This really isn't above or below, but question, will Zach Moss score a touchdown in this game?
You know, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't know shit about Zach Moss. I don't know him. Who's his backup, Ford, or is Ford on Cleveland?
It's Ford's on Cleveland. They got Chase Brown or Chad Brown, whatever.
Chase Brown and okay. I don't know shit about their running backs. I know Joe Mixon. And when he left, I don't know anything about the running game anymore. I gotta brush up on that. I admit it when I don't know shit.
Well, you know what? I mean, that's the thing. If you don't know shit about their running backs, that means that they suck. And I hate to say
it. It's very good observation. Yeah.
You know, so there you go right there. They're another team, just like Dallas. They're so one-dimensional. They got to figure it out. Otherwise, they're not going anywhere. And I'll remind everybody listening how piss poor of a freaking pick it was that I had the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. Oh, my God. Foot in freaking
well, I have the Niners and the Chiefs, and you can't cop out more than that one.
Yeah. Well, I hope that happens, man.
And I can't give the Niners just yet, but the Chiefs have a pretty easy road. So.
Yeah, they've already beaten Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Atlanta on the road. I mean, forget about it.
I mean, ridiculous.
Freaking Patrick Mahomes, God. All right, AFC South, Jacksonville, who can't figure it out at all, got pummeled by Buffalo on Monday night. Game wasn't even close. It was over in the first half. It was over in the first quarter, really. I mean, watching that game. Total control. They go to Houston. Houston's a better team, man. I mean, they own that division. They're the only team in that division with a winning record. Kenny, I think it stays that way.
I agree. Texans win this week. I don't know what the hell happened last week. That was a disaster. I think that people think, like I do still, that Minnesota is just not it. Not yet. I can't go there yet, but they seem to be.
You know what? I think people are concentrating too much on the offense and Sam Darnold when you got to look at that defense and say, you know what? They're really playing, keeping them in games. And 34-7, they beat C.J. Stroud with Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. DeMeco Ryan. I mean, 34-7.
Supposed to be the best.
So come on now. You know, that's a big
deal. That was very disappointing.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's one of those games where I just think, that's a rig job. But you know it's not. I mean, this is what happens. This is what happens.
It's any given Sunday, right? As they say, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
And that's why when we picking games today, we're even like, shit, I don't feel good about picking against. We don't feel good about picking against the Panthers this week,
right?
And that tells you everything you need to know, right?
Just it really does tell you everything you need to know. He can come there off the bench, not playing for.
We don't know what to do about Denver. We don't know what to do about the Seahawks. We don't know what to do about there's all these scenes where we don't know what to do. It's just unbelievable.
It's so messed up. I love it. All right, let's do our over/under for that game. C.J. Stroud, 267 yards again, according to Hard Rock Bet.
I'm gonna say under, and you want to know why? Because the most he's thrown this year is 260 yards. That might be why you came up with that number. He hasn't gone over 300 yards once, and I think 260 is his limit this year. That's the most he's done. So he hasn't done it yet. I don't see it happen.
Well,
I know the Jaguars are horrible, but you know what's going to happen? They're going to come out to a big lead, and they're just going to keep running the ball. And they got 3 people to hand the ball off to.
Yeah, if they have a big lead, then they're just going to keep running the ball, and
which is why I also went against Tank Dell this week, and we could touch on fantasy a little bit. I don't see Tank Dell getting any work in with all these mouths to feed, and they'll probably get up to a big head start right off the bat, and then you're going to be looking at Pierce and Mixon, and they got another guy there that they also give the ball to, and they're going to run it for like third and fourth quarter. That's what should happen.
That's what probably will happen. But Jacksonville desperate for a win, man. I mean, I'm going to go with Houston, but I can see Jacksonville making this game. I don't think it'll be a blowout by any means.
Yeah.
All right, we'll hit our next game, which is this one's interesting. Let me get some water. Got a dry mouth over here. I feel like I'm doing comedy or something. So Washington is playing Arizona. Now, Washington picking up their win. Arizona's been exciting. The over-under in this game is 50.5 points, man. Like,
wow.
Yeah. They're expecting fireworks in this game.
Yeah.
And that don't say a lot of good thing about the defense for Washington or Arizona. No. So, Kyler Murray, you want to play him in fantasy. Jaden Daniels, you want to play him in fantasy. This is the freaking week, man. Get them in your damn lineup because it's going to be explosive, this game. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm keeping an eye on it, Kenny.
Yeah, I love it too. I have Jaden, as I said, as my quarterback, so I really like this game. I think he's going to have a lot of passing yards. He's going to have at least 1 rushing touchdown, possibly 2 passing touchdowns. Both Ds are not great. They got a little bit of a running game there. The Cardinals have Connors, and they have Benson, who hasn't done squat this year yet. So I'm not worried about Benson, but he's there. And that don't mean he can't run for 80 yards and a touchdown this week. It just hasn't done it yet. But I don't think the Cardinals can do it, man. I'm behind the Commanders, and I said in preseason I could see them being second in this division, even though I didn't have the guts to actually say it out loud when it was time to.
Come on, man.
No, I thought so. I thought they had
a
chance.
Ball shriveled up in that moment. Huh? It's like, shit. I'm not
you start thinking, oh, shit, what am I talking about? That's fucking stupid. And then
the NFL, man, anything can freaking happen, baby. Yo, shout out to your boy, the Sentinels right there, man. Gotta love that. Love that. McKnight, all your boys are in here. It's beautiful. Dude, I'm going to take Arizona in this game. The young players, I think, can play. I think maybe the last team that has the ball wins the game. I think it might be like
Kyler's the difference, right? I mean, if you have to pick the game changer on both sides, like Kyler's probably it.
Yep, probably. I mean,
considering he's probably going to have all day to throw and run against that defense.
But you are taking Washington.
I'm going to take Washington because I'm a Jaden Daniels fan now, of course, and I see them being down in this game multiple times, possibly for most of it and all of it. And I'm still going to pick them, but they're going to be in a lot of garbage time. And I think that's what happened last week. Washington had time. They had a lot of time, and shit developed.
Oh, yeah. Trey Hendrickson got to him once. That was it. I think he got sacked one time, and that was like in garbage time, really.
And I was at the end of last week. Well, the end of last week just happened, but I'm ready to pick up McLaurin now, even though he hasn't done anything yet. I'll go straight up Tank Dell for McLaurin. If anybody's dumb enough to do that, I would do that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Especially not the week that he just had. You got to get him on a bad week, bro.
If they look at the preseason rankings and be like, "Oh, Tank Dell 58, huh?" I do like that. I don't think anybody's that stupid after last game. But if I had done it before the last game,
that's exactly right. That would have been something. Does Washington have Eric Bieniemy as their OC? Yeah, he's supposed to be. He called a good one last week, or I should say a few days ago. That's for sure. He really did. That's some Sentinel over there. Let's do our over-under for this game. Jaden Daniels, speaking of him, got him listed at Hard Rock Bet at 218 yards.
Yeah. Over.
Go over?
Yeah, only because the Cardinals D, I can't, beyond Budda Baker, I don't know anyone. I'm sure there are other good players there, but Buda's the main guy that I'm scared of if I'm on that team. So that's about it.
All right. Yeah. All right. So I don't know. I would under. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm going Commanders.
All right. So you got Commanders, and I'm going to take Arizona, the home team. Yeah, man, that one can go either way. All right. Let's hit up our game. All right. Let's just get to it. We don't have to save it for last. That New England is coming to San Fran. and they're both 1-2. And I think if Rhamondre Stevenson starts getting off to a big day in the first quarter, that could be a problem for us. Again, we're not that great at playing from behind. Apparently, we're not that great from playing from ahead either, blowing a fucking 10-point lead.
We got all new stats we're developing this season. All new streaks, all new shit streaks that we're setting up.
They got to do something this week, man. I mean, if the 49ers don't beat New England at home, then that's like it. We could be getting Debo back. We could be getting Kittle back. And even if not, Juwan Jennings, by the way, I spot started him in my fantasy lineup last week. 40 points. How you freaking doing, baby? Holy shit. Because I got Kittle. He was out. I'm like, I'm going to start Jennings. And bam, did I hit that
one. That was great.
Yeah.
But
so, and you know what, Kenny? You know what's funny? Everybody's going to play him this week, and he's going to have like 2 catches for 15
yards. He's going to do nothing. Yes, that's what I was just going to tell you. Don't expect that every week because he was wide open on all 3 of those touchdowns, and that's just a little weird.
Yeah. They're going to be now. They'll be looking for him. Now they'll be looking for him.
It's a little weird to be that wide open on 3 touchdowns. I mean, we didn't have Debo. We didn't have CMC. Who the F were they guarding then?
That's what I'm
saying.
Who
were they guarding?
That's what I'm saying.
Doesn't make any sense.
Who you guarding in this game in the Patriots? I think all you really have to worry about in the passing game is Hunter Henry. And you know what? You can have
he's the second highest receiving or leading receiver, I think.
Oh, yeah. I know you love him because you got him on fantasy. You're right.
You know, I do love him because he was on my fantasy team, but some jackass dropped Ferguson, and I got him on waivers.
Oh,
okay. So that guy saved my season.
Yeah, last year somebody dropped Dak like in the week 6 or something like that. I'm like,
yeah, people get mad and stuff, and they do stupid shit. They drop all their guys, and everyone's fighting.
Yeah. You can't live in the moment, man. You got to freaking take that shit. You got to think long term.
I'm with you. First of all, the Pats, I believe, are averaging like 120 yards rushing a game, and we can't stop the run. And Rhamondre Stevens is not to be ignored or overlooked at all.
That's right.
So the way we've been playing with people injured, even if we get people back, they're not going to be 100%. We're all hobbled. We look like crap. The DC is struggling. Our head coach is struggling. Our special teams is garbage. Our kicker can't make a goddamn kick unless he's got no pressure on him at all.
One of my least favorite draft picks of all time. Like least favorite draft pick
ever. And he misses. So
he makes me sick. That guy's. Oh my god! And his freaking face is just like, oh god, you little punk.
Yeah, you know what we got Jimmy Garoppolo at kicker is what we have.
Yeah.
He's going to make throws. He's going to make all the throws that don't mean anything. And then when it comes down to it, interception, missed kick, same guy, same face, same
gotta get rid of him. Yeah, I know, same face.
Smiley, like not affected face.
No, not affected at all. There's kind of like an Eli Manning-esque type of shit going on.
Punch the phone in the dugout and break the cooler. That's the shit that I like to see. I want to see that you're pissed as I am.
Right. If we're that invested, then you should be too. I mean, come on.
You should be as mad as I am, at least, for what just happened. You know.
Yo, and now we lose Javon Hargrave for the year. Like, I didn't even see that coming, bro.
Yeah, and that's a big part of our team that we were counting on having these guys on the line. Now we're back to who we were last year.
Look at this. Seth Little Spring. He's got the munchkin face with hair on it. If he had bigger eyes, I go and Jake Moody, Wicked to Ewok.
Yeah, he does. He's kind of fuzzy.
Well, that all being said, I mean, look, San Fran, it should be coached better. I mean, all praise to Gerard Mayo. I think he's fine, and he will be a good coach as time goes along. But, we got Kyle Shanahan. We still got that defense. We have better weapons. The Niners should win, but they're going to have to sell out and make Jacoby Brissett beat them. That's the only way to do it. You have to go after the run. You have to play in the box and play one-on-one man and have single safety high. I think that's the 49ers do, and it will be successful. I'll take San Fran.
Yeah. I can't take San Fran right now just because they're just awful. They're bad. And I've been watching New England, and they got skills. I can't ignore the skills. I'm watching them.
But they got the shippy out of them last week, though. The Jets crushed them on Thursday Night Football.
And you know what? The Jets should have crushed us, is how I feel about it, too. So, I don't know. We'll see.
We were all at full strength that game, and now we're not. Now we're crumbling apart. But we'll do our above or below for this game. How about total points in this game? 40. What do you think?
Well, Patriots D is pretty good, and they know they have a great cornerback in Gonzalez.
Yep.
They're a pretty solid team. When they started winning games, even if it's one game, I was like, don't win any games, just tank for the last damn pick. You have no reason to win games, but people always tell me this, and I get it. Nobody wants to lose any games. You're trying to win every game. I get it. But when you know you have zero shot this year, invest in next year. That's just me. I'm like a Moneyball guy and shit, but no one's gonna go with that. Like I get it. Yeah. But sometimes you have to face reality, and there's no way that the Patriots have any shot of doing anything this year, in my opinion. So winning that game didn't mean anything, except that you just gave Carolina the first pick, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. That's well.
That's just how I look at it. I'm not a coach. I'm not. Just how I look at it. So.
It just like every year, it's been a weird NFL season. That's all. All right, let's move it along.
Yeah, I'm sorry to do that, but I'm going New England, and they're home, right?
Listen, why again? Rhamondre Stevenson, if he goes 100 yards over, that's it.
And are they coming here, or are we going there? No, they're coming here.
Yeah, they're coming to
San Fran. That's the only thing that I would say helps us at this point.
They're coming to San Fran, so we'll see. I mean, we're not the greatest home team in the world. I know that, but all right. Split on that one, split decision. Cleveland going to Las Vegas. I mean, I didn't really know what to do with this game because Vegas, are they going to keep Gardner Minshew at starter, or are they going to throw Aiden O'Connell in there? They got a couple of good players, but then, you're going to lose to Carolina and get your blows thrown. I mean, like, wow. Cleveland is another team that I don't get it. Deshaun Watson, obviously not what he used to be. It's hard to pick this game, but if I have to, I'm going to look in the trenches, and that's where Cleveland is better. So give me Cleveland Browns over the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. What do you got?
I already picked this game somewhere else, but I can't remember what I picked. And now I'm going to go Cleveland. And I'm going to go Cleveland because I'm going to go Cleveland because I know that Minshew's like leading the league in interceptions right now, or behind the leader with 4 or 5 interceptions. That's unacceptable.
No, it's not looking that good.
The Browns are a decent team, and for some reason, Deshaun Watson did okay last week, and Cooper had a nice game, and I think they may be another team that's starting to get their like reps in and starting to gel a little bit, and there's no way the Raiders win this game. I don't see it.
I can see it because anything freaking can happen in the NFL. Sentinel's with us. He's going Cleveland also, and yep, we'd like to hear your picks out there too. Now, this next game is really interesting. Kansas City, who is certainly banged up. No Pacheco over there, still no Hollywood Brown. Travis Kelce has not got involved in the offense yet, but I think that is the key in this game. I think that they're going to look to get him the ball and get him back involved, get Rashee Rice open, be able to do creative things, whatever it is. But the Chargers, led by Jim Harbaugh, great team. Now, not a great showing last week against Pittsburgh, and that was a tough game of defensive battle. Thank you very much. I won money in the under on that one. That was a pretty easy one. Appreciate the money, Hard Rock Bet. Thank you very much. But overall, that the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, they are. But the Chargers play them hard. They really do. So if J.K. Dobbins, Kenny, can get off to a good game, if Quentin Johnson can somehow step up like he has been, he's got 3 touchdowns already this year, one in every single game. Justin Herbert, I know, was a little banged up. This matchup has become more even than we may have thought of in week 1.
Yeah, well, they do play each other well. In division, you never know what's going to happen. But I got to roll with Chiefs just because they're undefeated and it's the Chiefs at this, and they're going to be able to stop the run, I think. And that's all that the Chargers have, in my opinion. And as much as I like their D, like I said, I'm carrying their D. I'm also carrying 2 other teams' defense. So I don't really have that much faith in them. And especially I'm not starting them against the Chiefs this week. I just can't do it. I'm going to take the Chiefs and take the easy way out and just, hope the better team wins, even though I'd rather the Chargers won, obviously.
I'm not sure if it's even the easy way out. Since I'm making a point over here, love to see an upset, and Jim has an undefeated record against Andy Reid coached teams. How about that? He's 3-0. Very interesting.
That would be awesome.
If they can keep it on the ground and keep it away from Patrick Mahomes, they got a real shot. But I'm with you. It's hard for me to go against them. I'm going to take the Chiefs, the undefeated Chiefs, the best team in football right now.
You know what? If the Chiefs are 1-2 like everyone else is struggling right now, then I might have picked the Chargers. I might have. But the fact that they've eked out or whatever, or they've won all their games, and that's the damn goal.
That's what they do. They figure it out because they have the greatest fucking quarterback in the entire world. They figure out how to win games, bottom line.
Sidebar on the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone's picking up Carson Steele and P. Ryan, and they're picking up Hunt. Yeah. You know who I picked up? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I put him on IR.
Not a bad move, actually.
No, it's not a bad move because when all the smoke clears and that dude comes back, he's going to be getting the carries. He's not going to be getting all of them, but he may be getting double-digit carries on that team, and I will take that.
Well, they definitely like to use him in the passing game, that's for sure. So if you're going to get your points there, if you're in a good PPR league, then you got a shot. No doubt about it. Yeah. Let's do above or below for this game. Chargers and Chiefs. I went with the Pat Mahomes, 254 yards passing.
Ooh. I guess he's going to have to, right?
I
think he's going to have to.
They're not going to be running the ball
that little committee running game that they're doing. I don't think the Chargers are going to allow it. I think that's all they can really do is stop them from running. And then you're going to have Pat scrambling around, throwing the ball to somebody who's probably wide open, 40 yards. Worthy's probably going to have a touchdown, like a 50-yard touchdown. Rashee Rice is probably going to have at least a touchdown. Carson Steele is probably going to get a goal line touchdown. I'm going to assume this game is like 28-17 Chiefs.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good victory right there. That's a good one. That'll cover the spread, that's for sure. I'm not sure what it is right off the top of my head. Maybe 2.5, I think they maybe.
It should be around 3, I'm guessing.
Something like that, yeah. They should be they are the favorite in this game. All right, let's go to our Sunday night football game, which should be a good one. Buffalo at Baltimore. Now, I like that, man. We get to see two of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league. Got to love every second of that. Baltimore now, they finally got a win under their belt. Almost again, Kenny, blowing a fourth quarter lead. What the fuck is wrong with the Ravens that every fourth quarter they seem to blow leads? I mean, they were up 28-3. The game ended 28-5 in the fourth quarter. This is how they lose. They lost to the Raiders in the fourth quarter. It is amazing to me. You have the ultimate closer in Derrick Henry. Use it the right way. Now, big game over here with the Ravens. I mean, again, they're 1-2. Buffalo is coming in as hot as any team in the NFL. Some people would say that they're the number one team in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Hard to pick against them in this game, and this is a real clash of the Titans, if you want to call it that. I don't know. You hit it first, man. I'm afraid to pick this game. Buffalo at Baltimore.
I got to go with Buffalo. The same way I got to go with the Chiefs right now. They're just rolling and everything's working. And that's really helpful in the beginning of the season when everyone else is trying to get their shit together, especially the Niners, who always have to start out slow and do this shit because nobody plays in preseason and people are signing contracts and people are getting hurt all the time. And that's just how we always start. This could be a 3-5 start for us this year. And we're hopefully a wild card team. That could be what happens this year. But sticking with the Bills, Ravens, I got to go with the Bills. Khalil Shakir, whatever is finally, is it Khalil Shakir?
Yeah, Shakir. Yeah.
Shakir has taken the number one wide receiver role now. It's working real good. Cooks is cooking. It's just a good team. They're rolling right now. The Ravens are a hot mess. Their O-line is a disaster.
Yeah.
Their defense, they lost, half their players when they had to start from scratch. And it's just a lot. And you lost your DC. And it starts to bowl, it starts to roll into a ball and go down the hill and get bigger and snowball. And then you're talking about an avalanche. And I just think, especially on Sunday night, what are they going to do? You know what they're going to do is they're going to try and throw the ball this time. They can't run it like they did last week. And I think it's going to cause some problems for Lamar. He's going to try and throw the ball when he knows he wants to run for it. And they're going to be waiting for Henry after last week, too. And it's going to be tough. They're going to make it tough, the Bills. I think the Bills win it.
Look, I think the Bills win it, too, because I think if the game is close in the fourth quarter, which I fully expect it to be, that Buffalo is a team that knows how to win those games, and Baltimore has proven to be the team to not know how to win those games. So that's why I'll go with Buffalo. But I was that close to taking Baltimore because they are at home, single game, standalone, Sunday Night Football, give it to them. But Buffalo right now is the better team, so I'm going to have to go with them, and I will agree with you. But the
Ravens have to win this game.
The Ravens desperately need to win this game, and Buffalo would be understandable if they lost. Nobody would go crazy and be like, oh, no, Josh Allen sucked. No, Josh Allen right now is probably the MVP of the league.
He's your MVP,
Yeah, right now he is. We'll see how things go. We got 2 Monday Night Football games. The first one is Tennessee, Miami. Blah. Thank God we have another one in about an hour and 15 minutes after that. So it's depending on how it goes. But let's go Tennessee, Miami. The game is in Miami. The Dolphins hosting. Their quarterback situation, as we know, is horrible. Not that Tennessee's is any good at all. But if you're going to put together a complete game package, Tennessee right now has more than what Miami has to offer. And I think that I like the Titans in this game. Miami, my God, man, I don't know what they're going to do. I think they really need Tua to come back, honestly. Otherwise, they're not going to be well run at all. I don't like this game. It's ugly as shit, but I'll take Tennessee.
It's a horrible game. What's going to happen is what happened last week is that you only have Devon Achane, right? And so what's going to happen? They're going to be waiting for him like they did last week. Last week, he came up with about 8 points in fantasy, which is a disaster from a guy who puts up 30 a week.
No doubt.
Big difference. He's not just going to be able to come up with 30 points again. There's nothing going on that team anymore. The quarterback is a huge issue.
Oh, huge.
Huge issue. Then they got their injuries too. They're just a team that like can't get over any kind of hump. I feel like they're like this person who like they make more money, right? They start to make more money, and then like shit happens. Like there's a bill or like the fucking roof caves in, and it's like they can't get ahead. They got to go into the savings and pay for the roof and like do this and fix that. And right now I can't. And as bad as the Titans are, I'm gonna pick them.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
That's how sad it is in Miami right now.
It is. It might be a freaking tie. It might be 3-3 when it's all said and done. Maybe I should pick that.
Wow. Oh, man, you're probably right. I don't know how they're going to score any points in that game. Devon Achane's going to have to get like a ton of yak. He's going to have to get Debo, 10-yard Debo pass. And then
they're going to have to come up with some gimmicky type of plays, reverse wide receiver throws and shit like that. I mean,
pitches
that's what you have to do.
Flea flickers and shit.
Yeah,
you're going to have to get creative.
Like the Lions pulled the hook and ladder. How about that play last week?
That was incredible. I love to see that. I love
that shit. Oh,
that's
I
the shit
love that.
That's what Kyle should be doing. Things like that.
Yeah, we need a little help we can get.
Here's the good news.
Let's get to our last game.
Seahawks Lions is on ABC, so that's the good news.
Yeah. I'll
I'm surprised they didn't try and fix that shit at the end and give us the shitty game on live.
Right. Let us go to bed on a good note over here. But Seattle, 3-0, Detroit 2-1. Really good game. These two teams are definitely good playoff-looking teams right now. So I expect a really good game. I don't think it's going to be a lot of points like a lot of other people think in this one, but I think DK Metcalf will get his. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown will get his. So I think it's going to be a tough one. Before you pick, how about the above or below, which I forgot for a couple of them, so that's my bad. But
okay.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, 75 yards receiving. What do you think about that one?
I'm going to say below, but I think he's going to have a touchdown. I'm going to say below. I think that Jameson might take over in this game. Jameson Williams, if he's playing, he'll be getting some deep passes. You may see an end around or something weird like we were just talking about. They did the hook and ladder last week. I could see some shenanigans go on with Jameson Williams. And Amon-Ra is still going to be a factor. Probably more of a decoy, I think, in this game, though, because the D is good. They're going to be keeping their eye on Amon-Ra, especially since Laporta hasn't done anything. So they're not really worried about him at this point. They're going to have an eye on him, but right now it's going to be the Jameer, Montgomery, and Amon-Ra show, right?
Laporta's still banged up as it is. So
he's not going to do much. So it's good. They're going to have their eyes on their 3 studs, and I think they're going to be Seattle's going to do a decent job of playing defense. What they're going to need their running game to work, though, if they want to win this game, the Seahawks. I'm still picking the Lions. I just think they're a little better team. That's really all it comes down to.
Yeah, and that's where I went with it too. It was a tough one for me. I'm like, you know what? I love Seattle. They're
in Seattle too, aren't they?
No, it's in Detroit.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes
sure. Yeah, it's in Detroit.
Okay. Well, listen, if they were in Seattle, I might have had a different opinion.
Me too. And you know what? Sometimes I wonder, is home field really that much of a difference? Because we see road teams win all the freaking time.
For a dome team,
an advantage, but audible-wise, but it doesn't really always translate. I mean,
especially if you play in a dome, though.
Championship game. You know, it was in Baltimore. I don't know. I'll take the Lions also in this one. Let me give you.
They're just a little better team. That's really all it comes down to. And then they'll both come out of there. They'll both be 3-1. No harm, no foul. Nobody will be mad.
Right. Nobody. Exactly right. Nobody will.
Everything will set itself now. I feel like we're going to start settling in. I think by week 7, like you said, 6, 7.
Yeah.
I think we'll see more of the real standings of what's going on.
Make the picks a little bit easier as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Maybe.
we made our picks therein, including tonight's game where I like Dallas. Kenny likes the Giants in that one, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants won. And the way that they win, run the ball. If they can run for 150-plus yards, they'll probably end up winning the game and controlling the ball and keeping Dak and that offense off the field. Who's going to guard CeeDee Lamb? I don't really know, but let me give you a say what moment over here. So, kind of like a bold prediction or something like that. But again, this Minnesota game against Green Bay, you're not sold on Sam Darnold, right? Well, I'm going to say, say what? Sam Darnold throws 3 interceptions against the Packers.
That's your bold?
That's bold.
All right.
What do you think about that?
I like it.
I think it's a possibility.
I'm telling you, it's going to come crashing down. Because I think it was actually McNiner or maybe Sentinel who said this to me last year, or not last year, but when Sam was in Carolina, he won a bunch of games at the end there, and everyone was all excited about him. But when you dig into those games, they were bad games. He was not a good player. He just got wins. He got some Jimmy wins. You talked about the D, how great it is. Okay, you have Justin Jefferson, you have Aaron Jones. These are quality players that can make you look real good the way Jimmy Garoppolo started 8-0 one year. I don't know. And I just feel like, Sam, we just know Sam. And I've seen him come in a game, and he's on the 6-yard line, and he's thrown an interception.
I hear you, but he's never had a Justin Jefferson before or an offensive coach like this who can put him in the right position. Again, I'm not saying Sam Darnold all of a sudden is like some big top 10, top 5 quarterback.
He doesn't have to be. Yeah.
No, he doesn't have to be. Just keep doing his job. But I think that he will get funked up this weekend in Green Bay. I think that's the reason why they lose, because he's gonna have some turnovers in this one. So it might be a little tough game over there.
You know what? But you're right. And I wasn't talking to anyone about this because it's really. I mean, people barely listen when you speak. I think you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just thinking how what? Forget it. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to.
Don't even do it then.
Yeah, no.
Let's get into a lock for the week over here. I had a tough. This is tough for me. Looking at these games real quick before we get to our game of the night. Giants hosting the Cowboys over here. Who's going to be my lock, Money? Come on, my puppy over here. Tell me who's going to be my lock as you take my earphone out. Crazy dog. All right, move over. I think I'm going to go with Kenny. I got to take the Jets over Denver.
That's your lock?
That's my lock. Yep, I'm going to take the Jets over Denver. That'll be my lock.
Oh, wow. Okay. My lock, huh? Let's see what I like here. I'm going to go bold on the lock.
Okay.
Giants destroy the Cowboys. Destroy.
Wow. All right.
Destroy. 35-10. 35-13.
Now I feel total opposite as you. I think, honestly, if anything, I think the Cowboys whip their butt. If there's a butt whipping going on, it'll probably be the Cowboys, in my opinion. But damn, that is bold, brother. I'm going to remember that one if the Giants win this game.
Hey, and look, we're going to find out in a couple minutes, right?
That's right. Yeah, game on, man. Got to hit prime. Game on tonight. I'm
excited about my Malik Neighbors. I'm excited about him.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're playing him, obviously, right?
I got him in there. I expect some garbage time, to be truthful. I expect a lot of garbage time from the Giants in this game.
Whatever. That's fantasy football, right? It's not based on regular football, so there you go.
Hang around, be careful, Cowboys. Don't fool around with the Giants, man.
Nope. They better not. They better not. They can't afford to fool around with anybody, and we shall see. Don't get fooled again. All right, Money, stop biting my paper. Crazy little bastard. Nutty dog. All right, we are out of here. Power 32, week 4. All right, listen to what we're saying because we don't know what we're talking about. So that's why you want to listen. Make your own opinion.
We'll see what happens. See how it turns out on the end, like a pie. We don't know.
Yeah,
just shit in the pie. We'll see how it tastes.
Kenny, always a pleasure, my friend. We'll do it again next week, brother. Power 32. We are out. Peace.